Evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Block 9 podcast. And boy, what a show we have in store for you tonight. Such a great victory at home park, beating Cardiff 5-2. 5-2. Oh, Carl just sliding in there like Spider-Man. Oh, here I am. Yes, evening, everybody. I hope you are doing well. So let's just quickly say hello to the panel that we've got in tonight. So Harvey is joining us for this one, and why not? Evening, Harvey. How have you been recently, mate?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. This Argyle form has brought more of a light to myself. I'm feeling more enthusiastic day by day, and so is the team. Great win today. Yeah, buzzing.
Yeah, excellent. Andy's back as well. Andy, obviously you went around for Thursday's show, but good to see you back. I'm guessing you're feeling very good today.
Back to the happy clapping. Absolutely brilliant, mate, today. Everyone to a man. Fantastic.
Yeah, it was. And Carl, as he's still getting himself adjusted and ready there, how are you doing, mate? Are you good?
Yeah, not too bad. Still in a bit of shock, but yeah, absolutely ecstatic with today's result, performance and everything else. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, it's really good. And Gavin, did you enjoy many a drink celebrating that result today in Diamond?
I may have just had a good lunch, yeah, or breakfast as it was actually today. The problem with morning kickoffs is you have more time to drink Guinness.
Oh, God.
Watching rugby before the pod comes on, which is good at the time, but not so much when you're now trying to articulate yourself in a podcast. So, yeah, great day.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Right, I'm just going to look at the comments before I do the intro to tonight's show. There's a lot of comments coming in, so thank you, everybody. GT was in more than prepared in advance today. Well, he says. Just a Jana, 100th match as a head coach done in style. Absolutely. Brian Panarata from Boston, Massachusetts says, evening all. Massive win today. Come on, you Greens. VW Coker's in as well. Evening to you. Matt Montgomery, Baz and the Cloud. Yes, agreed in the poor visibility from the stands. It was hard at times to distinguish between Royal Blue and the mighty green. Surprise Cardiff weren't asked to play in their red away kit. Baz said, I said on Thursday I had a good feeling about today. Just saying. And yes, Baz, I've got an eye on the curling final. Sorry, folks, but it is the final, and I'm going to keep my eye on it. We've also got in, Terry Alford says, cleverly in. VW Coco said that was a very hard to pick a man of the match today. Hazard with some excellent saves. Yes, 2 in the first half, keeping it at 3-2. Larry from Plymouth, Massachusetts, as well as in. Evening, Argyle Nation. What a day. Simon Fort says, hi all, another good win and 0 goal difference now. It's incredible, isn't it? We must be looking up not far from the playoffs if we keep playing like this and keep our heads. Nikki's in as well, saying good evening to everybody. Finley's in as Argyle News Hub. Good evening, everyone. What a brilliant statement result today. Locks 9 is in as well. If you score 7 goals in your previous 2 games, what would you expect? Another win. That's what. Ethan Pross is in as well. Argo 83's in. Who else we got? Zoe O'Connor is in as well. Adam Sussex is in. Joe and Ronan were immense today. Stevie Vaughan's in as well. Who else we got? Tony Lane. Good evening from Winkley and the Mid-Devon Pilgrims. Yeah, evening to you. Peter Henwood is in as well. 333 Web. I'm going to just read out a few more. Heather's in, I can see. Ethan Pross, I think I've already said hello to you. Donna Hone is in as well. Evening to you, Donna. Right then. Well, let's get on with today's match intro. So today wasn't about who's been right or who's been wrong, whether you have been bedwetting or been patient. It was about stopping for a second and recognizing the size of what we've just witnessed today. After those back-to-back defeats, Argyle's responded with back-to-back away wins and then absolutely dismantled the league leaders, Cardiff City, who came to Home Park top of the league. They left having been taken apart in a ruthless 5-2 statement victory. We've seen the nervous starts. We've seen the confidence drain after conceding. We've questioned the cutting edge and the quality in key positions. And at one point, even Tom Cleverley's grip on his job looked fragile. It was the 8th of November when Argyle sat bottom of the League One. Now it's the complete reverse. Well, we're not top, but anyway, this is a squad playing with belief, authority, and unity. There's a spirit that does echo the 101-point title winners from 2023. Today wasn't just 3 points. It was proof of growth, proof of character, proof that this team has the ability. Argyle now sit 11th and closer to the playoffs than the relegation zone. If Argyle can do that to the league leaders, who's to say how far this can go? But for now, today, we witnessed one of the best performances at home park you will ever see, capping off Tom Cleverley's 100th game in charge in style. I'm going to go in order as it is, top to bottom. Harvey, we have got your video, but yeah, just tell us the emotions of that game, because probably like all of us, just shattered after that.
Yeah. I think that game had everything. The game flew alive in that first half, and that first half, I suppose, until we scored. Well, not even until we scored. Probably until that halftime whistle, we didn't know how this game was going to go. It was like ping pong. Every time there was a goal, the other team went up the other end and scored, and it was nerve wracking. I think as Argyle fans, we know how these games have played out in the past, where it's fast flowing and after a few goals, and you know, you're either trailing or you think you're cruising. That second half was crucial, and we executed it perfectly, getting that fourth and not sitting back and eventually going on to get the fifth. But yeah, amazing. Smiles all round.
It is good. Andy, I'll come to you next then. There was just madness of goals, in a very short window. We had that opening chance from Watts, which, from 6 yards out of all the places to find it, was the keeper in front of him. And then you just thought, oh, this game's going to get tasty. And notwithstanding, Cardiff did have a little chance just before that. And then the goals came, and it was just like, wow, what's going on here? It was hard to keep up that first half, wasn't it?
It's just frantic, wasn't it? End-to-end stuff, and really entertaining football from both sides. I mean, Cardiff are at the top of the league for a reason. You can see how well they played, and even try to play towards the end of the game. But yeah, it was just frantic, wasn't it? I'm actually exhausted. I said to my mate behind me, Keith Jenkin, that it could have been like 8-4 or something. The score, it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's magical. Well, it's more goals. There's more goals, Carl, again for Bim. I felt going to the game, I went with a 1-1, I think it was. And then when I got to the ground, I thought, I'm going to put a bet on here. And I went 3-2. And I put a fiver on that, which lied to score 5 or more corners and Cardiff to obviously score. And then I put a separate bet on us to win 3-2 outright. I cashed out at half-time to get 20 quid on the score line, and then left the other one going until that damn penalty ruined the chances of that. But it was mad to even think that we were going to see that many goals.
Yeah, that 20 quid were put towards the Milky Bars, wasn't it?
If you like Milky Bars, I'll buy you one.
They're on in now.
I did predict that I thought we were going to narrowly lose midweek, but I thought, as I was turning up to the game, it felt different. It felt like a huge game. It felt like a game where, I don't know, even in like the warm up, when I saw the tail end of the warm up, we looked confident. That the crowd looked up for it. The place was buzzing, which it hasn't been like that for. Well, it hasn't been like it for this season, has it? It just felt like a game, like in a championship winning season beforehand, and how the game started was just like Harvey said, it was just ping pong. It was kind of wave after attack from both sides. Cardiff were excellent. Every time they attacked, I thought they were going to score. I mean, we were almost quite similar to that. Every time we were attacking, it looked like we were going to score. So it was just, for a neutral, watching on Sky, it must have been absolutely incredible to watch that first half, and especially that 10-minute gap where we saw all those goals. But yeah, it's nice to see kind of free flowing football again at home park. Everyone's playing with confidence. Bim's he's just off the scale, isn't he? Like the rise of that man's just been incredible over the past 6 to 8 weeks. I've never seen an Argyle player in my time supporting Argyle that has just come on leaps and bounds that quickly. His rise has just been incredible, and credit to him. He's took his chance, and yeah, he just looks better and better every week that passes by. He looks physical. He looks strong. He's really, really pacey, which he wasn't really showing at the start of the season. But yeah, confidence is flowing. Everyone's playing brilliantly. Edwards was like a man possessed again today. I just hope we start building or looking at building that statue very soon.
Yeah, it's I'm just like, I mean, just to read out quickly, then I'll come to Gav. The goals, from Talai, brilliantly, superb breakaway from Edwards. Talai scoring it, but what a setup from Bim Peppo off the back of that. It was just completely stunned Cardiff. It stunned us. That was such a quality goal. And then obviously to come moments later again, thanks to Joe Edwards on 31 minutes for Peppo, and then 34 at the corner, 68 and 81. Obviously Cardiff did get 2 back to make it 3-2 going into the break. And Gavin, the one thing you could see Cardiff's quality there, but they definitely didn't expect, obviously, the way we scored our goals. I mean, Edwards setting those first 2 up was just sublime, catching them out on the counter, and you just thought, wow. But as soon as they had those chances, they did get a couple of goals back. Luckily, we went in, obviously, at the break with the 3-2 lead, because it was certainly nervous towards the end of that first half.
I think what impressed me the most was probably the tactics, which is really sort of apt for what Voodoo's just said, that the TC haters must be feeling silly tonight. So 3 things that sprung to mind. One is the aggression wide. So Harding and Joe were really not giving 1 second with the wingers on the ball. They were trying to get in front of the ball to anticipate and to intercept. Which is high risk, because if you get turned, you look a plonker, and Joe certainly doesn't have the legs to get back to divert crosses. So that was the first tactic I thought really well. And actually, both Joe's goals come from him being ultra aggressive, nipping in front of his attacker, waiting for the ball. 1-2 with who was it, Curtis or what? Yeah, it was 1-2 with Curtis. Ball swings in, goal. Second one, very similar, beats the man, and then the set play is fantastic. The other thing is, and at the time, I must admit, me and my brother were giving Wiredu a bit of unnecessary stick looking back at the game, saying, "Why aren't you getting back? You're playing too high." But actually, it's a bit of genius, because that by playing Wiredu further up the pitch, all but like an 8. It meant that their best ball players couldn't get forward, because they were sort of occupied with Bim, who was sort of hanging on the centre circle basically for most of the game. And our quick transition play, the accuracy of that today was outstanding, to be honest. So those 3 things, sort of the aggression wide and the really very ultra aggressive press. It wasn't really a press; it was kind of it was a anticipation to try and get the ball before they did. The forward positioning of Wiredu and the fast transition were 3 highlights for me that gave us definitely gave us our best performance of the year from what I've seen both live and on the TV.
Yeah, it was. I've just put a few comments up because they're flooding in, which is great to see. Thank you, everybody. So I'm going to struggle to read some of them out tonight. I have pinned a couple, but Nikki said I got the pod on very quietly, hiding in my room for peace and darkness. Have you got other issues that you need to do that in a room in darkness? Adam Sussex, evening to you from Facebook, says, can anyone think of a player who has turned a fan base more than Bim? Looked dreadful at the start now, and it's hard to pick over him over Talai. I'll just read out a couple more latter ones that have come in as I scroll through. Matty nearly scored as well, says Jeshajana. Spicy Wedges says, no Poirot tonight after Thursday, boo. My mon ami, it was fantastic.
Don't start off again, for fuck's
Monch 2.
Anyway, Monsieurs, Madame, let's carry on. So only Cardiff, Lincoln and Stockport look certain of their positions. Kerno85, evening to you, mate. He says, I think Block 9 podcast and all of us should start a crowdfunder page for a Joe Edwards statue. Well, we did, or Nick from PFC Displays was trying to do all that glitz and glamour for his, games mark, and didn't happen, did it? Maybe we should get all that out. Curtis has been outstanding, says Matt Argo 83, especially the constant on the money crosses into the box. Ethan Prosser, Gavin got the pleasure of driving to Luton Tuesday, hopefully as well, to get through to the semi-finals. Look at all the positivity, says Michael Hawks, a Reading fan who went and screwed it up on 97 minutes. Thank you very much. Pilgrim PT's back in as well. Evening, PT. Evening, boys. What a difference it makes when we have the players on the bench who can come on and make a difference. When some of the starting 11 run out of steam, thought Sorinola made a huge difference after he replaced Caleb Watts. 100% shut off their right-hand side, and it says everything when NG had to get subbed off, being one of their best players. He made a huge difference, Sorinola. What else we got? One set of footprints. Evening, mate. He says, Harvey, do you think we will get to the playoffs now, buddy? Right, I'll stop there. On the BIM comment from earlier, what do you think to that in answer to Adams's question? Have you ever seen a player, Harvey, that's turned the crowd like Bim Peppo has?
No, I don't think you say you can. But my alternative argument to that is who do you think has more, Tom Cleverley or Bim Pebble? In the sense, you
little tease.
This season, Tom Cleverley, I'd say at least about 90% of the fan base wanted him out, myself being one of them. Today, I was shouting his name as loud as I could when that fifth goal went in. So, it's a question, isn't it? But I think Bim Pebble, he's shining in the light at the moment, isn't he? And I think that he deserves everything he gets from the stick that he's got, especially that stick that he had at the start of the season, how he's turned it around and how he hasn't really let it affect him, and he's taken every opportunity he can get. So it's exactly what we want. We want a striker that's scoring goals, and that's what Tom Cleverley wants, and that's what he wants as a footballer. He wants to be successful, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah, it's a great shout, really. I just picked up the image. I'll bring it back. Gavin said, "Can you just make an image of Tom Cleverley lifting his bat for his 100th game?" For those of you that aren't cricket fans, when you get your 100th run, you do then lift up your bat. I think Gavin, actually, I'll jump to you then on that. I mean, Harvey's saying, who has turned the crowd more? I think, in fairness, it's quite clear, isn't it?
Well, not to me.
Here we go.
Because I'm going to sit here like a smug bastard now and say, I am still the only person on this screen, and probably the only person on this pod who was TCing all the way. I could see the future. Maybe I'm just gifted. I don't know.
He's a witch. He's a witch.
But anyway, there we are. No, all joking aside, I think one goes hand in hand with the other. Bim had a really horrible start. His August was horrific. Everyone was saying, what have we bought here? It's a basket case. He ain't going to be fit for purpose until the last year of his contract. Then he'll walk away. Even if he is at all, he can't, to use the old Kit Kat recipe, he can't sing, he can't dance, he can't play. But now it looks like he'll go a long way. I've pulled that one right on my backside, actually. There are people there going, Kit Kat, what are you talking about? They're probably below 40. I think he's the coaching team have probably got as much credit as Bim themselves on how they've turned his performances around. A lot of it's been through circumstance, because if Tolly had been in the team and we played one up top, he would barely have got a sniff. If Aseni hadn't got injured, he probably he'd be warming the bench still and getting splinters every week. So there's been a bit of a churn of strikers, but he's clearly worked his backside off. There's extra strength there, extra pace there, the tenacity. And I think I remember saying on this pod months and months and months ago that when he was turning the corner, he's great, but he hasn't got the mindset, the aggressive mindset of Tolly to say, I'm getting there first. I'm going to get past this defender and I'm going to shoulder him out the way, and it's my ball. He started to get that. And since he's had that tenacity and that mindset of, no, this is my ball and I'm having it, he's become a world beater. And whether he's been spending time with Tolly to learn that, whether that's come from the coaching staff, TC, the coaching team in general, whether he's worked out for himself, I don't know, and only you know that. But that's been the difference, I think, between him old school and him new school, is that his mindset's so much more aggressive. And that's bred confidence. And then he's scoring from 25 yards on a regular basis. He nearly scored another one today to get his trick, which the keeper pulls around the post really, really well in the bottom corner. And yeah, I would say in my living memory from Dave Smith in 1984, I think was my first game-ish, to now, I can't remember one individual player turning their season around and from going from the pantomime villain to the hero in, what has it been, 5 months?
Lee Cooper for me.
Mental. Yeah, but I don't think Lee Cooper was a disastrous footballer, whereas, and he's, I suppose back in those days, there was no online bullying. There was no, if you remember, we were making statements in the club about him and Wiradoo a few months ago saying, stop abusing our players, it's racism. And now all of a sudden, there's a standing ovation today when Wiradoo gets walked off the pitch when he can
Timber Wiradoo's song as well.
And Peppel's getting a song about him, and every time he goes near the ball, the whole of the stadium are shouting his name. So I can't remember anyone in that state, but I think he's done a lot of good work. I think the team's done a lot of good work. And to answer your point, I think one goes hand in hand with the other. If the coaching team haven't turned this round, he isn't getting the recognition. They've both worked hard and they've both found solutions, and now we're seeing the fruit of that.
Do you feel like he just had his chance? Yeah, he had his opportunity, didn't he? He just had that opportunity until I was at the side, and he came in and he took it with both hands, and he's scoring goals now for fun, which is great. We need that, The two strikers on form now scoring goals. 12 goals, 12 in 3 games says a lot, doesn't it?
What a place to be. And actually, speaking on that note, where's my mouse gone? For those that care, we got silver in the curling, sadly, again. But moving on. So, yeah, look, I've picked this photo up. Sorry, we're hiding Gavin again. Of Peppel and Talai. I think there's a big point with the whole situation overall. I think, since, a couple of decent signings, obviously Talai and Curtis coming in, and then, getting some injuries back. And yes, we've lost some, but we've managed to then sort of just, really get our shape together and be organized. And I think that's just overall just helped everybody. I even keep going back to Aseni when Talai was sent off, and obviously he turned a form and got a goal, and then obviously got injured in that game as well. So had to, come out, and then Peppel's had his opportunity. And it's just, they've taken it. And when you've got a squad, we've lost Rules and we've lost Kane recently. And today, we managed to win without one of those two in midfield. There's so much belief there that we've now got such a strong back line, great midfield and a great pairing up front. And that pairing of Talai and Peppel is I think
another player that deserves massive praise is Ross. I mean, for a free signing, for a free transfer.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
Absolutely top notch. He's getting better and better week after week.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Julie's comment there about Peppel being the reverse Mumba. We've just shipped out Mumba, basically, and got a good fee for him. And we've got a player in from Luton for like peanuts, and he's turning out to be a much better player.
Yeah, and Mumba, who was booed before creating an assist today as well in the Huddersfield game. Hardy also then getting on the score sheet for them to win 2-1. But yeah, I think that's the whole thing there. I think Argyle were in that disarray, in that two minds, what's going on. The players would have felt the pressure on Cleverley. Yes, Derek Adams coming in, the board sticking with Cleverley, bringing Derek Adams in to assist. And as I've had the comments gone from me now, but I think it was someone with there we go, 333 Web, who said, it's Adam's experience and TC is now learning quickly and wants it badly. So fair play. And as for Joe's legs, proved me wrong again. It's just, that's why the whole situation now with wherever your head was at or whether it wasn't, as I said with my intro, it's just great to see what is being played now on the pitch. The away games, coming back the other day after going 1-0 up and then getting an equaliser, sort of late on in that first half to then go and win that game convincingly in the end to Orient, to the game before where we had a great win. It's just it's just like, wow, what is going on in front of us? It's a bit of a shock. Harvey, are the playoffs now an opportunity and a chance?
See, you can't say no. There's always a team that sneaks through that at the start of the season, the first couple of months, you don't see it. You write them off and they sneak on through. And there's nothing to say now with Argyle's form, with the games they've got left to play, that they can't be that team. Obviously, it's still a load of games away. I don't want to get ahead of myself and start thinking of it properly. But I think it's definitely a chance, and I think it's something that is, well, could be a possibility, but it also could be possible for us to go to Wembley twice this year.
Yeah.
So I think we just got to take every game as it comes, and us as fans just need to keep doing our bit, and hopefully that this form continues. But as Gavin said before, Argyle's form is never linear. So
no, it's not. It's not.
It's always one of those teams as well that yeah, you can knock me off. It's fine. I've got a face of radio, Mikey. It's fine, no problem. There's always one of those teams where they're late in the playoffs that always starts a surge around Christmas.
Yeah.
And that's what we've done. So, you know, looking back years gone by, many a league, there's been like one team in, well, not in the bottom, like we were, but certainly lower mid-table that go on a run and end up 6th or 5th within the last couple of games, and then take all that momentum into a playoff and blow teams away. And yeah, we saw it with Oxford, I suppose, when they went up, they were 6th and no one gave them a chance in hell, and they blew them away in the final. It was 3-0, I think. And yeah, it looks like they're going to come back down again now, which is a bit of a shame. But they were class. So there's going to be that. No, I'm never the favourite child. Don't worry about that ever. Even in my own family. But that's a different story. But yeah, I think there's always that one team that does a great run, and we seem to be on it. And it's luck, isn't it? So we've had all our crap injuries pre-Christmas. Everyone's now fit. Looks like Rolsey will be back next weekend, if it's the 2 weeks from when he did it, which is last weekend. That's
Herbie Kane, you mean?
Not Rolls, sorry.
Yeah, Herbie Kane. That's all right, carry on.
Yeah. I've done that all day, by the way. I've said that about 4 times in the game today too. So it looks like Kane's back. We had Galloway on the stage today as well. He said 2 or 3 weeks. So it looks like we've got really good, strong players coming back as well of what we've got. And that's can only be good for the squad in general, especially if you're fighting on 2 fronts, a potential cup final and
more to the point, we're having senior professionals been left out the whole squad now, which is
Patterson not made the squad today. Oseni. There's some good footballers.
Good to see Plaguey back on the bench, of course.
Of course.
Of course, naturally. I have pulled up the FOTMob ratings. There's a couple, 2 or 3 certainly debatable ones there.
Shocking.
Carl, I'll come to you, bring you back in then on this. So I'll just read them out first. Hazard on 7.5, Harding 7, Mitchell 6.6. That is definitely low. Should be above 7. Ross 7.4, Edwards 8, Watts 6.2, which is probably fair. Substituted just on the start of the second half. Wiradoo 6.9, Boateng for all the Boateng fans 6.9, Curtis 7.4. Talai 9.2, and Peppel is the star man for FOTMob on 9.3. Carl, let's just start on Watts, actually. It was one of those where I think he was in your lineup, wasn't he, for today? Yeah. It's not really, I suppose the setup isn't right for him, and he was getting caught out. NG was just sort of getting past him with ease. He was coming too deep at times and not really helping, sort of Harding, and he's not a defensive mindset player. He got dragged into the middle when Cardiff got their second. That allowed allowed NG to receive the ball then, and he just went down, and they ended up getting it into the goal. So okay, Gav. So for those that can't see, he's just being an arse on screen. But yeah, he just wasn't great, was he? He just couldn't get into this game.
No, I mean, To be fair, he was included in the third goal. I know he didn't get an assist for it, but he was involved in the build-up. He did okay in the first 15 or 20, but as soon as he got that yellow, his game was done. He was holding out of challenges. He wasn't tracking back. I think he knew that if he was getting involved with a potential another challenge, that he could have got a second yellow, and it was exactly the right substitution at halftime to bring Solnola on, because if he went in too hard in the second half, going down to 10 men, that probably would have cost us the game. Cardiff would have run rings around us, and obviously the first half game plan obviously worked by starting Watts, but I think it was right for Cleverley to change it at halftime to bring on Solnola, who I thought was absolutely outstanding when he came on and helped Harding out very, very well. Would I continue to pick Watts in my lineup going forward for the next few games? Probably not. I don't think he's 100% fit yet either. But yeah, he's kind of a bit like another Ibrahim, isn't he? He's got like a yellow in him every single game. He's a good player, but I think in certain games, I'm kind of thinking along the lines of Gavin now, that in certain games he's not the right pick. Yes, I know your head's getting very, very, very large there now, but no, I do agree. Again, I wouldn't have started Dale. I think maybe I would have gone with Solnola. I was close to picking Solnola for today's game, but I don't want to touch on Dale too much because he didn't have much game time at the end, only 5 minutes. But I thought Amici was actually quite good when he came on. I thought he put in some decent challenges, which was nice to see. And I would probably end up picking Amici for obviously Tuesday's game instead of Watts on that side. The 6.9 for Boateng is extremely low. I thought he was excellent again today in the midfield. Rudu as well, 6.9. That's quite low. Mitchell 6.6. I think everybody deserved a 7 in today's game. And Peppel 9.3, absolutely beast of a performance. And Tolly coming back, he was like he was never away, was he? It's just a shame that neither of them could get a hat trick.
It was, and obviously you weren't taking that penalty off Tolly with Peppel chasing him for top scorer. Harvey, I'll come to you now. The standout, and I've really been pleased with him, and sort of since really sort of got his chance to come back into the squad. But Matthias Ross, and again, a brilliant set piece to the coaching staff, are sorting this out. But Curtis again with a corner, and Ross coming in to smash it in the back of the net at the Devonport end. He's just been absolutely awesome alongside Mitchell, isn't he?
100%. Yeah, I think they're only getting stronger week after week. I feel as if at the moment, if Ross doesn't score, Mitchell does. Which is, we look back on a few years back where at Swansea away, our first away win, we scored from a corner, and I couldn't tell if we was more excited about winning our first away game or finally scoring from a set piece. Now you look at it, every set piece, we look dangerous.
Morgan Whittaker, wasn't it? Along the box?
Along the box, corner, short corner.
That's it. I remember.
Yeah, and I think that, like I said, they're growing stronger each and every game. Ross took a lot of criticism, especially from this panel, along with all the other fans at the start of the season. And I think now that he's growing stronger, he's winning every ball, he's seeming bulletproof. I think he was very unfortunate to get his yellow card today.
Guy ran into him.
Yeah.
I went down and rubbed his head, and he gave a yellow. The referee didn't even see it. Referee was a clown, by the way.
Yeah. But I'm buzzing with how he's playing.
And also as Brian's pointed out, how was Mitchell offside? He looked on. He did look on, according to those watching on Sky Sports. He was on,
and that was not a red card, smashing Bim in the face.
There was a couple of that. The ref overall, I think, was okay. But Andy, sort of. Anyone else for you that you want to pick out from that bunch that we haven't specifically talked about?
Well, I'm looking at Boateng's 6.9, and I think that should be a bit higher. I thought he had a great game today. He's running his socks off again today, isn't he? And Curtis, that should be higher as well. Curtis has been outstanding for us in every game he's played for us. Absolutely outstanding. What a find that is.
Other
than that, Yeah, Mitch 6.6, really? Who scores this stuff? I really don't get it. Yeah, what's 6.2? That's justified. Thought we had a poor game. Should have put one away in the first half. Wasn't checking back for and then covering for their goals. So Watts is about right there. It's the only one, I think.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Gavin, Hazard, definitely worth a note. I said it early on, the 2 saves in the first half, where, one he just didn't know was coming back at him, and he managed to get his left palm up to flick it over. That was crucial right at the end of the first half. Actually, both those 2 chances were after I think we went 3-1 up.
Yep.
I mean, he had a good game, and his distribution again, besides the odd one, I'll say, but overall his distribution again was good, and that's coming on a lot more in the recent games. I've noticed as well.
There's a couple of things. One, he looks a happier human being.
Yeah.
Fact.
Every time you say human being, I just keep thinking of mucilage for some reason.
Also, we can do this. Also, he looks a much happier chap, right? So like the Argyle TV interview during the week, his body language has changed. Even his I'm just going to sound a bit wet, but even his skin looks clearer. He looks like
he's got a fresh haircut.
He's got fresh hair. He's like his posture's different. His mannerisms have changed. His tonality's changed when he talks. So he's clearly a happier chap, right? That's number one. Pre-Christmas, he looked a right miserable son, so I think that's why everyone thought he was going to jump ship in January. Number 2, he's playing, talking about Miron, he's playing, I think, as well now as he did under Miron Muslic, which is probably the biggest compliment we can give him, because I thought at times last year he was one of the best keepers in the Championship. Especially the Liverpool performance, you can remember that was outstanding. But I think the squad's in a happier place, because they're winning and because they're confident and because they're together. The comment last week around, I can't remember who said it, and I'm really sorry, I can't remember to credit you it, but the comment last week around this starts to feel like the 101 team again in terms of togetherness, in terms of the way they play, in terms of the smiles on the faces, and they're all working together and they're all working to the last minute, and there's no heads going down. Is bang on, and I think that's a direct result of the performances of Connor. His stats are mental, aren't they? For clean sheets and stuff. I know he had 2 today, and I think the left arm palm is amazing. I think the one in the second half is out. Well, we tips it with first half. Sorry, we tips it with the bar at the Devonport end. It is just out of this world. It's going in the roof and that, and he's flown himself. And in the one where he stops a shot, he gets up so quickly to make that palm save.
Yeah,
like he's up in like a flash. It's a half a second. He's back on his feet, so he's clearly as fit as he can be as well. So, the man's just back to where we love him to be. Yeah. He'll play out of his skin now, and then he'll bugger off to Denmark or somewhere in the summer, and that'll be the end of that. But just random, innit? But he deserves every bit of credit he's getting, and he looks happy, which is the main thing. If you're happy at work, you perform better, and that seems to be where he is. Yeah,
I think, and going back again to, the defensive line, being solid. Harding, had a really good game. Again, not in his sort of natural position, but he did really well, and I felt the turning point for me was, sort of, Carl, I think you touched upon it earlier briefly as well, but that turning point was getting Watts off at halftime, knowing that he was getting run ragged, and he had that yellow, which meant that they could really try and open us up down on our left-hand side. And Sorinola coming in, I said to the guys around me at halftime, that will just give confidence. You could see he wasn't out warming up, so you knew he was coming on, but that you felt that, or I felt that would give Harding confidence that he has someone who's also defensive minded and has got the pace to get back and get up the pitch will help him as well. And that was so clear, wasn't it? And I think it just really helped Argyle. I think if that sub hadn't been made at that point in time, it could have been a little bit different.
Yeah, like I said, I think it would have been extremely foolish of Tom Cleverley to come out for the second half with Caleb Watts still in that side. Because I think if he put in a rash challenge which we all know he's capable of doing, like he did up at Stockport. He was on that red card early on as well, didn't he? So it's kind of like a repeat performance from him in today's game, and I thought that it was quite refreshing and good to see Cleverley deciding that early and seeing that and reacting quickly by bringing Solnola on at half time, which is a masterstroke. And I think, if he went down to 10 men, then it would have been a whole different ball game. But I think Solnola coming on, putting in a really, really good performance, tracking back, attacking, his tackling was spot on. Yeah, he was typical Solnola. When he puts in a good shift, you know you're going to get a good game out of him. And even the subs coming on, Amici, I thought was actually quite good in his short spell.
He got his shorts dirty,
tracking back, and what?
He got his shorts dirty with a sliding tackle.
He got his shorts dirty.
I think that's the first time this year that Kitman's put his.
Dirty. Yeah.
I think that's the first time this year since August that Kitman's put his shorts in the wash.
So that just shows now, the confidence in the team when you're getting a player of Amici coming onto the pitch who's not afraid to put a challenge in now. So it's really good, and the amount of the quality we have on that bench now. I don't know if you pulled up the slide of our team up at Cardiff.
I've got it ready in a minute. We'll do it after the highlights.
The difference between where we were there and where we are now is absolutely, night and day difference. Night and day difference.
I'm going to, because I'm conscious it's 9:10 and Harvey's really stretching his bedtime, right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to see the goal or the game highlights again? So
me? Not really.
I do have the Cardiff away lineup, which we will discuss. I'll do it after the goal. So let's run with the highlights. Let's relive this. Come on, Restream, do your thing. It's coming, promise. Here we go. Just watch Wiradoo as he runs the chase after this ball with a Cardiff defender. I think he sort of...
Well, it just came straight through to Caleb Watts.
He
was right in front of the goalkeeper.
I'm going to
either side of him.
Show it here.
That's 1-0 to the home side.
How's he not score that, by the way?
No, but let me just put it
back. Watts, he was right in front of the goalkeeper.
As he goes down...
Well, it just came straight through to Caleb
Look
Watts.
at him rolling around.
I know, but I think Wiradoo's
the goalkeeper either side of him.
And
that's 1-0 to the home side.
He's got to score there, what?
Good save, actually.
And from Curtis.
That ball in.
Wasn't
nearly
far
an own
away.
goal. Yeah.
Everybody claiming it was their ball.
Defender,
the corner.
It was a defender's
what we've
header.
come away with.
Oh, yeah.
Right, a bit of defensive touch that did it. Edwards.
This is brilliant.
Very quickly, and this is Talai. Lauren Talai.
Great finish.
His first start after injury. And he adds another goal to his growing tally.
Edwards does so well with that layoff from
Plymouth with a huge boost just before the half-hour mark. Can Tanner find a way through here for Cardiff? This could be an instant response. Off frame of the goal. And a save from point blank range. Kellyman with the strike. Tanner with the initial effort. Both inches away.
This is brilliant as well.
Yeah, Edwards does so well to be patient, hitting the ball in.
Up towards
Wait for Cole to get in there.
Not an easy finish at all.
No.
Bim Papel again. What a run he is on. And what a scoreline.
That's a foul, by the way.
Well, actually,
here goes Tanner again.
It was live, but I don't think it is.
In towards Kellyman. Off 2-1. And in a matter of seconds, Cardiff are back within a goal. It's a blink and you'll miss it sort of game.
Thought, oh my God, really? No.
Surely we couldn't have another goal.
And what a goal this is.
And from
what
Harding.
a ball from Harding.
Oh, it's 3-1. Peppel again.
Peppel
again. Of a game. And where will it go from here?
Hey, Bim, Bim, Bim. Let me hear you say.
This is Tanner.
Thank you,
No,
gents, for not letting me down. This is a 20
million
this player
No
was
keeper
bought by
saved.
Chelsea.
That is a great goal.
20 million.
5-goal game, split 3-2. It's in Plymouth's favour, but Cardiff have picked up the momentum again going into the break. Perry Young going for goal. That was on target. Hard to find a more exciting and surprising half of football this season.
I was shaking at half time. I couldn't believe what was going on.
Robertson! Oh! Would have been a rocket of a goal.
Yeah, they had that early spell, didn't they, after the burst?
Towards Talai, who went down.
This looks soft. You'll see the
replay,
the close-up in a minute. I thought it looked
penalty.
soft, but let's see. I don't
And a
care.
chance for
If
Plymouth to
so many
stretch
go
their
against
lead
us,
again.
He called it for pushes all game.
Talai scores, and emphatically so. Plymouth's number 9 doubles up.
Ollie's back.
This is beautiful.
Cardinal copy of the
scored
goal
again.
Tuesday night.
5 up for Plymouth. And surely now the points are staying at home park.
When it went 4-2, I did hit a fiver on for us to win 6-2, but I was there we go. I was dying. Let's get the post-match interviews as well. Let's get that. I'm sure Harvey can stay up for a few minutes more.
It felt like every time there was an attack, it was a goal. It was great to watch. What was it like for you?
Do you know what? This is how I want my teams to play. There's one thing I took from Sir Alex is you don't want a bored crowd. They've suffered that a little bit this year, and we had to grind out some results. But I thought, listen, it's not what we want. It's to concede a goal at that end of that quality. But I did think this is football. This is entertainment. This is edge of your seat, and thankfully.
Yeah, it still cuts it off. Sorry, folks, but yeah, I like that. You don't want a bored crowd.
A bored or a bold crowd?
No, bored.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah, a bit late for us, Carl.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah. You look after yourselves, you two. Now the one from Lawrence Talai.
And you and Bim as a combination, obviously both getting 2 goals today. He laid one on for you as well. He is in such great form at the minute, isn't it? What's it like playing with him?
Yeah, it's good. Bim has been good the last couple of weeks. Hopefully we can keep going, but it's nice as well, like to have other goal scorers like Matthias, like Ronan, it's nice, to have other goal scorers in the team. You can see how good we are. It's been last couple of weeks now, and we just need to keep going. We need to keep going. Don't go too high as well, because that's just one game. But obviously it's a big game. But we have to keep going, and it's been really good to playing with Bim up front, and hopefully we can keep going.
He sounds a little bit like Pyro, doesn't he?
Well, I thought that was
Pyro.
Heather's
What the hell is
background.
Pyro?
Pyro's on fire.
No pyro, no party.
Oh, God, terrible.
Was it Heather's door in the background as well?
The what, sorry?
Heather's door. It was
Oh.
spooky, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, that got solved in the end, just in case you all want to know. It was a hairspray trick. Harvey, as I can see, you're struggling to stay awake with it way past your bedtime. No, jokes aside. What do you see going in? I mean, hearing from Cleverley there specifically, but what do you see then going into Tuesday's game? I want to get your thoughts on that as well.
I'm very 50-50 with it, because part of me now thinks it's a good chance of a money builder to follow this through. Obviously, we've got a home tie if we win in the next round, if we are to progress. And then a good chance if we win that, obviously 100% chance we win that, but a good chance in a home tie to make it to Wembley, which is a good day out. But then part of me also thinks that, do we now focus on the league? Now we've got something to fight for. Whereas personally myself, I would take mid-table. I would take where we are now and be happy with it. So it's a 50-50 whether or not. And whether we'll do both is another thing. Because have we got the squad to do both? Do we want to risk the squad doing both? So Tuesday's going to be a good one. Be a chance to do the triple over Luton, which certain TikToker would not like. If you know, you know. But yeah, no.
Why isn't Logger on tonight, by the way? We could have got him on tonight. It'd have been a good luck charm.
Who's that? Sorry. Oh, matey.
Yeah,
Andy did ask me, and and politely I just said we're going to have enough to talk about, so let's keep it focused. If we lose on Tuesday, then you can shoot me.
Yeah, we will. Don't worry.
Not bringing him in. But yeah, no. I think today was all about us. To be nice, but yeah, no. Look, Harvey, I don't know if you're still going to hang around or you do want to shoot off now, but we will now go and digest the lineup that we had when we played away to Cardiff. So I'll read out a few more comments before we do that quickly. Stephen Cooper says Clev's right up for the Luton game team in Sunday morning. I think he did
Sunday morning. The team are in Sunday morning.
Oh, sorry, I'm with you. Thank you, Gav. Sorry, Stephen. I know he did say that he is going to hint. He said he was going to play a strong lineup, but we'll see. GT, come on the green, saying Tolly is unreal. What a professional. Matt Montgomery, he was right. It was edge of the seat, nervy first half. What else have we got here? I'm not sure what Lox9 is saying tonight. Kerno85, Connor was practicing those sorts of punches before the game today, more than usual, maybe a sign. Just a Jana, Kellyman did do 2 great goals. Can't deny that. They were. Andy, the Green 10, I don't recognise that name, so welcome to the show. Tremendous performance. Watching Mackenzie warm up in front of me. Surely he could have come on towards the end. I think he might make an appearance on Tuesday. Game was over. Still to play at Home Park after his rehab nonsense. What else we got? Steve to stick by Cleverley, a masterstroke by the board. Holding your nerve, absolutely. Ben Bennett Florin was in about 10 minutes ago. So evening to you, Ben. What else have we got? I'm just going to look back. Pilgrim PT, every player had up their game now. We have Soranola, Pleggy, Dale, Ibrahim, Amici, and Mackenzie on the bench. Graham Byrne, Saw Wareham got a hat-trick for Exeter today, all inside 8 minutes, which was just madness after they were 1-0 down. But well, they went and got a draw in the end. But yeah, he's surely going to be moving up in the leagues come the end of the season if he carries on like that. Let me have a quick look at what else we've got. Simon Fort Hazard got better players in front of him now. Yes, it definitely does help, but he was outstanding today. Credit where credit's due. So let's have a look at the previous lineup that we had against Cardiff away. So the point to this is the fact that we wanted just to see the comparison difference of who we had then when we got beat 4-0 as opposed to today when we went and beat Cardiff 5-2. So actually, Carl, you mentioned about bringing this up. So do you want to just talk us through it?
Yeah, if the person who sits next to me thought it would be a good idea to kind of compare both teams and from, where we were form-wise then compared to now. And you can see looking at that, even looking at the numbers, not just the personnel, how way off it we were. I mean, Ashby Howard 5.1, awful. Such, obviously, as a right back, I'm not sure he was ever a right back in my eyes. Mitchell, obviously, that was early days when he first came in, so obviously not fit or used to playing in the Argyle side. Obviously, we didn't have any option at Wiradoo at centre back, and obviously we know how that perspired several weeks after the Cardiff game. He had no option but to play him there, and he's not a centre back. Obviously now he's flourishing in his natural position at centre midfield. Ibrahim, obviously we had so many new players at the start of the season. It just took us like weeks and weeks and weeks to gel. The injuries weren't helping. Boateng obviously was poor early on, which was obviously, well, everybody was poor.
Boateng was poor because everybody else around.
Yeah, well, I think we were just struggling for confidence. And you can see by even Benarouz getting minutes there, which we didn't see much of later on in the season. So, just shows how far we come. Ironically, Mumba with an 8, which is unusual. So yeah, it just shows the difference. It's night and day from that side to how we're playing and what personnel we've got now.
Yeah, I think the other side to that as well, looking at it, and one player that I felt even in that role, even though he scored a 5.6 in that game, didn't have the best of spells in that game, but you could see that he had something about him was Wiradoo. Obviously, when he was covering in that position, and it's centre back, 5.6 he had then. And since he's been put into his more favoured position in midfield, he's been brilliant. And fair play to him. Again, I think Boateng, it's just if the squad is playing around him really well, he really comes into the game superbly. Benarouz, look, with a rare starting appearance there in the on the team sheet that day, not doing too bad compared to some, but. Yeah, when you look at it all and you see what we've got now with Mitchell, with Rossen who came in, and the pairing that those two have got, it's just immense. Obviously, Soups has moved on now, so we thank him and wish him well. And obviously Mumba has gone as well, but Talai coming on leaps and bounds, and when you look at the quality that Rules has bought, that Ronan Curtis has bought, it's just, Gavin, anything you want to add to this lineup then and now, further to what you said?
The obvious thing that people have missed is the formation, right?
Yeah,
So 4-4-2 is by far our better formation. 4-2-3-1. We Carl and I stood next to each other that day, shaking our heads, going, "What am I doing here?" It was poor all around. They went through us, over us, round us, and it had remnants of the year before when we were up there. When I think it was 5-0, wasn't it? When Sissoko got
yeah.
So look, this is.
I don't think we could have even played 4-4-2 back then, because we didn't really have the option.
No,
I know we still had Pepper and Aseni, but they were just way off it.
No, they were way off. They were way off. You're right, but just look at if we're going to talk about night and day, 4-2-3 went against 4-4-2. Really strong wingers. Curtis for Mumba. Benarous for it was either Dale or Watts even on his day, or Smatty Serenola, Boateng and Wiridu obviously playing in his proper position. The other keeper in goal, we'll leave that and move on. And Talai with a strike partner in form, holding it up and doing everything that Peppel's doing. So I think it's a really good comparison. I don't think we should spend too much longer talking about this team, because it feels like a team of yesteryear. We might as well put a Rooney team up with Sissoko and all that. But it's a very different place from where we were, and that formation, that team that you've just pinged up now, Mike, the team that played today is a much stronger proposition. But in formation, in personnel, in aggression, in duels, in press, in ball speed, in accuracy, and everything else that goes with it. It's like Bobby Ewing getting out of the shower. All that was a bad dream, and now we're back into playing proper Argyle football, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there we go. Anything to add, Andy, to that?
No, it's exactly what's the forward line. Oh, this is the current score. Sorry, I was replying.
If you want, I can put it back. There you go.
I was flip flopping. Sorry.
There's the current one again on screen. Mozza has joined us. He's in there as Morris Football Talks. Evening to you, Mozza. I might have jinxed it, Mozza, with not bringing you in tonight. We'll see what happens Tuesday.
And also, the key player that we didn't have there was Edwards.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Edwards, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Edwards today was immense. Absolutely immense today, and to not even have him in that team there, that was like travesty. Was he injured then? Or
injured,
just
I think Boateng was skipper, wasn't he?
I believe so.
And then doing everything up front. When you can't do everything up front on your own. You got to have someone there with you, and this is why with Peppel it's working so well now, because they're fighting for each other.
Let me just before we go to the lineups for Tuesday, I say this quietly, says Michael Hawkes, but don't tell anyone I can see Argyle getting the last playoff spot. I'll deny all knowledge if questioned at that time. That was a killer.
We'll do it at Reading as well.
Say again?
We'll do it at Reading as well.
Lots of tickets selling out already. Nikki saying never want to see Ashby Hammond on the pitch again. Well, you might have to if something happens to Hazard, but hopefully touch wood, he stays fit now. But I'll go back until we may not ever find out, but with that better defensive line, you might see a better performance from Ashby Hammond. What else have we got? Let me just scroll back a little bit, then we come on to Tuesday's teams. 333 Webb saying again, Boateng a poor player to start. No way, which wasn't what Carl actually meant. All of them were poor. He has always been good. It was all to do with the whole team adjusting. Now with all of this experience, we are finally on it. Absolutely. What else have we got? Kerner85 saying, just seen a video of Luton manager being pulled away from arguing with the fans tonight. Oh dear. It's all going Pete Tong. Nicholas G, I saw your shirt today, the NG on the Cardiff player. Would you change the team for Tuesday? Well, let's just look at that, shall we? Now, Who do we go first? Where is it? Down here. And boom, it's Carl. So, Carl Barnard, please take us through your lineup for Tuesday.
Yes, I think Sorinola deserves to come in from the start this time, but in place of Harding. For me, I still think, as much as he did have an okay game today, I still think he was at fault for one or at least two of the goals. And I think Sorinola being here longer, being our player, I think he deserves a shot at getting us into a semi-final. So I'll pick him at left back. The other four are obviously untouchable on current form. I was tempted to do what Gavin did. I was close to removing Ruidu for Ibrahim just to freshen it up in midfield. But I think with Luton being very, very strong at home, I know they conceded late today, but I think with Luton being strong at home, I still think we need a pretty robust midfield, which Ibrahim doesn't really bring. And again, with his history of yellow cards, I would like to see him get more minutes for sure, coming on in the second half potentially. But I think I would leave Ruidu and Boateng alone in the middle. I would swap out Watts. I don't think he's done enough to start on Tuesday. I would bring Amici in just for that added quality and the crosses he can bring. And to be fair, he did actually put a shift in. I know it was only a short shift when he came on, but I thought he looked hungry, and we might obviously see him hopefully push on maybe to try and get back into the team. And obviously Pepple and Talai they're untouchable. I don't think bringing in a Seni at this point is a wise move. I can see people saying we should maybe make more changes and focus more on the league, but I think when you're this close to a Wembley final, you need to go as strong as possible. And we have got a bigger squad now. It's not like we've got multiple injuries where we have no choice. We do have choice at making certain swaps. And I think obviously Sorinola and Amici bringing in isn't a bad option to have at this moment in time.
No, I don't. I wouldn't disagree with Pilgrim Pete. You said Sorinola much better up the pitch. Yeah, I would rather see him forward. But let's see what Gavin's got to say with his lineup. So let's switch that now. Then we'll get our thoughts. So far away,
further up the pitch. See if I know what I'm talking about. So I've dropped Watts. I not to go over old ground and break it up, but I did say on Thursday night that picking Watts wide is not good, especially if you're in a team that plays football, which Luton do and Cardiff do. So I would have not picked him on either game, and I've not picked him tonight. I've kept the same back five. My only real long hesitation was whether we give our skipper the fifth or sixth game in whatever it is, how many days. Someone will tell me. But when I saw him in Club Argyle after the game tonight, he looked like a 20-year-old spring chicken. So he's probably at home at the moment in a Radox bath or doing whatever else he does to recover. That's state of the art, that Radox bath. And a couple of cans of Guinness or something, as you do. But he looked and sounded great. He actually had some good gas with Gaz, actually, because Gaz paid him his first compliment ever, which was nice. And then he followed it up by saying, "What the fuck are you doing, shooting from 40 yards? I know you're a bit confident, but what was that all about?" And he said, "Oh yeah, I knew you'd give me grief for that when you come up on stage." So back four choose itself. Harding had probably had the hardest game of the season today at left back, to be honest. And I like Harding. He played a slide ball through today. I can't remember. I think it was to Talai. It was absolutely spot on. The weighted pass was superb. He's a real footballer, so I think he has to stay in the team. The only way I would change it is if Edwards wasn't fit, I'd move him to right back and I'd bring Mackenzie in at left back. But I think he's still a bit ring rusty. So that's the back five. Hazard obviously stays in goal. That's not even a question. Midfield, I've freshened it up times two. So Wiradoo looked like he could barely put one leg in front of the other coming off. It reminded me of how exhausted Ryan Hardy was in the Championship last year when he tried to shoot in the box and just fell over in a heap because he couldn't physically put one leg in front of the other anymore. And I think Wiradoo was that tired. I think that's what happened to him. Ibrahim looked quite bright when he came on, and I think he needs some game time. I'd have Wiradoo on the bench. as an insurance policy. But my midfield then, for those who are listening, is Sorinola on the right, Ibrahim and Boateng in the 6 and 8 channel, and Curtis on the left. And then obviously the top two pick themselves. I think that's a team that's freshened up enough to go and beat Luton, but he's not radical enough to sort of upset the momentum and the patterns of play that are going on at the minute to give us a real challenge of getting through.
No, I think that's the key point. You want to keep that momentum running, and you don't want to disrupt the team too much, but you are conscious that you've got players that you also want to give minutes to. I think if Cleverley and Edwards have the conversation, and Edwards is like, I'll be good, Gaff, he will come, he will start. Whether depending on how the game's going and how much we do want to win it. Then he could suddenly come off on 60 minutes and give a rest, as a few of those regulars could do. Because I think it'd be great to see Mackenzie come in. I'd like to see as well, again, Harding move over to the right-hand side. Ibrahim, as you've put in from the start anyway, Gav, there's a few in there, even Pleggy, if we're sort of sitting
exactly
okay,
right.
you want to use them.
You give Ross or Mitchell a rest, you bring Pleggy on. You move Harding to right back, you bring Mackenzie on. Those are two easy subs.
Correct.
If we're up, you either bring Curtis off and you bring Dale on, or you take one of the top guys off for Saturday and you bring Curtis up top and you bring Dale, or you bring another wide player on, Patterson or whoever he's going to pick in. So you've got to win the game first, right? And we're sitting there like we're going to go up and blast Luton out the water. Now they've drawn with Burton Albion today. That's massive club in the pyramid of world football. So they're obviously on a bit of a rant. And you said that the man who didn't get interviewed for us, by the way, I found that out in the week, who's at Luton at the moment, is having a bit of a ruck with fans. They're all cheesed off, aren't they? Because he's promising lots and saying, we must improve, we must learn. It was a bit what sort of Tom was saying in our darkest days. But can we go there and win? Yes. If we make 5-6 changes, would it be a given right? Absolutely not. Luton are going to be hurting, and I reckon he needs to save his job. He probably needs to win a trophy this year, so he'll probably throw his first team into the mix as well. So I think it's going to be a proper tear up, which is nice.
Yeah, Pilgrim Pete's saying Sorino on the left, Curtis on the right. I think you've got the capability with both of them to switch. Calvin, who's just joined us as well, don't recognise you from before. So evening and welcome to the show. If you are, of course, watching us on YouTube and it is your first show, please don't forget to give us a subscribe and a thumbs up on the video as well. It all helps. And those of you that have paired with us across YouTube and X, I see Calvin did as well. Thank you guys for that. And equally on those platforms, Facebook or X, give us a follow if you haven't. You can see some of the videos that Carl and I have put up today as well. We both went at it today with the content, so you can see some of the action from earlier. Let me just read back on some of these comments as well. Stephen Cooper, if we win Tuesday, I feel we will have a full house against Northampton, highest game in the Trophy Cup. Plym 1969, evening to you. I don't recognise you either, so welcome to the show. No place for Mackenzie yet to start a game. I think he'll come on, but I think we want to try and keep this momentum by going with a strong lineup. What else have we got? Stephen agreeing with Gavin as well, saying spot on. Matt Montgomery said, I would pick the same team as Carl, except I would try a Seni out wide instead of a Michi. I think he has better pace and strength on the ball. Joanne Louise, evening to you as well from Facebook. Welcome to the show. Should we rest Tolly? Again, let's just see how the game's going. But all these players, the other thing to consider here is they know what's on the bench. They know the competition there is now. And would you want to turn down your chance to play again on Tuesday? You're going to be going, no, right?
Well,
yeah,
when you think of it, looking at the lineups now, we've got literally probably seven players that are undroppable now. Hazard, Edwards, Ross, Mitchell, Boateng, Peppel, and Talai. It doesn't leave much room for swapping and changing, does it? But Hazard, Mitchell, Ross, Edwards, Boateng, Peppel, Talai.
Sorry,
Curtis. So it's a nice problem to have that we're.
There's three you could say we could mix them.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the only positions which really.
And funny enough, we've made three changes, yeah,
three changes, which is the only changes you can make at the moment.
But also, just on Tulai, he's just spent 3 weeks sitting on the bed.
He's had enough rest.
The last thing he wants now is minutes to get his game routine back up. Maybe you could argue, because he's played every minute pretty much. Although, what's interesting today is they were both hauled off for those two outstanding number 9s, Dale and Amici. So clearly they were brought off today with Tuesday very much in mind.
Good point. I think you're spot on with the Tolly point. Joanne, it's almost we don't need to rest him. Pepple, if you were going to say rest anybody, I think again, giving credit to Cleverley, that was a smart move as well, taking them off when we went 5-2 up, just to just say, right, there you go, get a bit of a break from the full 90. Jack McKenzie will be next online for left back. Said Pilgrim PT. I think overall, you want to, like I said, you just want to keep that momentum going, and none of these players are going to want to get dropped in fear of someone else maybe coming on doing better and then closing them out. But even so, I think you've got to really do something on Tuesday if you're coming on to shut one of these players from the squad on Saturday away to Rotherham. Andy, anything that you would sort of tweak or do yourself with those lineups?
Only things that was mentioned already. You could sort of potentially drop either Ross or Mitchell and bring in Pleguezuelo, just give him a few minutes, get him up to speed. But again, would you do that if you're got a decent winning side? Probably not.
No,
but not a lot of changes there.
It's great. It's great though, Andy, isn't it, to have
Carl's team.
Say again?
Ibrahim for Amici and Carl's team would be the only probably difference.
Yeah, for me, Amici still got a lot to prove. He looked keen when he came on. Obviously, we were comfortable then. I was actually hoping he might get my 6th goal to win something for me. And Gavin, I know because both of us did it, and if you do bet responsibly. But I did see a cash out, although it's disappeared now. But before all the games finished today, I saw a cash out on Argyle to get. Oh no, I've got a cash outs on both now. They're pretty good. So we both did similar bets. I think I had one to finish in the top 6. That was, I think I put a £5 on. I've currently got £18.89 cash out.
When did you put it on?
Oh God, Gavin, can you remember we did this? It was before Christmas.
Yeah, it was just before Christmas. I think
and then I put
3 games, and I was like, "Oh, okay, fuck."
Yeah, I think we did it at the same time, but I think this one is definitely out the water now with Cardiff and Lincoln. But I did go 100-1 to be promoted. Well, if we win the playoffs, obviously that could happen. That's currently a cash out of £12. So,
you could retire off that.
Exactly. But there you go. But it's the first time it's kicked in with a cash out that I've noticed, which made me chuckle. Now we're doing well. Right. What have we got? I'm just trying to think. Oh, hang on a minute. Let me just check my notes. Do want to give, obviously, a note to Clive celebrating 50 incredible years of selling programs. Program. Yeah, Clive Stevenson. That's when he began selling his programs outside of Home Park. So a nod to him there.
That's going to be Richard Francis in 40 years' time.
Richard Francis, yeah.
You beat me to it.
He was still selling them.
Exactly.
You're watching, Richard. You did a good job, mate.
Exactly. I did see him today. Also, there was a lad that said hello to me in the concourse. I think it was Jordan Johns. I think if I heard correctly, apologies if I didn't. He said he is always in and watching, so I don't recognize his name from any of the name tags on here. But if you are in, then good to see you. Thanks for saying hello, and thanks for being a fan of the podcast.
Another fan, Michael. Another fan.
I'll soon be queuing up for signatures and photographs. That's just what it is. But anyway, I'm just trying. Table. I did clip this earlier while there was still a game going on. So There we go,
that's
folks.
healthy,
It was the Bradford game that was still happening at the time. I'm guessing they did lose in the end. You can see Cardiff and obviously Lincoln now right on their heels after our fantastic result today. 69 points for Cardiff, 68 to Lincoln. No one's going to stop those two, let's be honest. Followed by Rotherham, followed by Bolton. Rotherham's our next game on 58. Stockport County after a good result as well on 56. Bradford 55 after they stuttered today. Huddersfield, thanks to Hardy, getting up to 52. And then obviously Reading, who would have been closer if they hadn't messed it up on 90+7.
You know what? It's nice to see a 0 goal difference. Next week we could be in the
We're
pluses.
out of the ground. We're out of the ground.
We're out of it.
We're on the level. Now we've got to
Indeed.
start growing our little tree.
Yeah, so you got after Huddersfield, you got Reading, Stevenage, Wickham, Luton, and then ourselves in 11th place. So we haven't really moved too much there. I think it's just the one spot. But yes, the goal difference, Carl, absolutely. Those goals in those last few games, what a difference to get us all square. And you can see above us, all the teams are pretty much on decent, give or take the odd couple goal differences there. So how important...
Does everyone think 6th is the only realistic position up for grabs?
No,
or do you think
Bradford will fall off a cliff now.
You reckon so?
Yeah, it's still really tight from 3rd to 6th. So
I can't see Bolton messing up. Stockport, they're quite strong, aren't they? Yeah, possibly Bradford might be 2 spots up for grabs.
Yeah, but one of 2, I think.
Yeah, 5th or 6th.
I think we're going to end up 72, 73 points, something like that, with what we got left.
Hope so. I really hope so.
In which case, is that enough? Who knows? But I mean, it wasn't. We had 80 points once, if you remember, and then we got walloped to MK Dons last game of the season, and we still didn't make the bloody playoffs. So, well, I think that was a strange old season, I have to say. But I think there are teams there that have gone on their run that'll have a wobble. Everyone has a wobble. I think Cardiff might have a wobble now. You know,
I said that on one show. I thought Cardiff were going to have a wobble.
I think every team has to have they can't. You know, no one's Arsenal. No one does the Invincibles. Every team will have, even if it's 3-4 games, they'll have a run of crap and then they'll get back on the horse. We just had one. You know, 2 losses on the bounce and now we're back. So I really think. It will be very interesting times, and we've got to play a lot of those teams around us over the next few weeks. So there we go.
Ethan Prosser doing better. Well, I only stuck a $5 on because I don't generally bet that much, but he's got a cash out of £50 at the moment to get promoted on a 2K return from a £30 bet he put on a couple of months ago. Ethan Prosser,
very big bollocks.
So there we go. But yeah, so similar times. I think I just wasn't as brave as you.
I got 33 to 1. I think when I put mine on.
Yeah. I think I had similar numbers. So hey, look, you know, it would be great if it comes in, if both come in, for sure. So the next games, let's just do a little bit of that, because there's one thing I'm gonna just do in a minute, and that is show the highlights again. Because why not after that sort of performance? So obviously we head to Luton for that EFL the 2 trophy game on Tuesday night, the long-awaited match. Kickoff is at 7. Spicy Wedges says, "Are you doing a watch along?" Absolutely right. I am. So Carl doesn't know his shifts yet, but we'll join
I'm off. I'm off.
Oh, you off? Yeah.
Depends if I do it at home or you invite me.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it probably will do because of just the late night and back to school. And Harvey will also look at joining in as well on that one.
I should be watching too and not listening, Mr. BBTS.
A nod too. And then obviously we have Rotherham away then. So 2 back-to-back away games. Could we do it another double? That's on Saturday. Kick-off at the normal time of 3 p.m. And then we have that week break before we then face Doncaster. You know, so when you look at March's, you know, that concludes Feb's fixtures. But when you look at March, you've got Doncaster. Then we've got Wigan away. Then it's Reading away in that big one. How interesting could that be, Mr. Hawks? And then to see off March, we then have Stevenage at home. And at the end, it's Huddersfield. Is that the last one? Let me just flick forward. Oh, no, we then have Bradford. So there's some decent winnable points there that will be interesting when we come to the show to see where we are at the end of that game. So let me. What's going on in the private chat? Anything of note? Front row of block 2 have a wobble. What was that in relation to?
Don't know.
I have no
Right,
idea.
okay.
You wrote it.
I didn't write it.
Right, I get you. I get you.
Right, okay. Private joke then. So between those two, what we got? Bow Bow KQ 7RK. Evening to you. Today was shocking from us. Fair play, Bow Bow, for coming into the live. Appreciate you coming in. But yeah, it was one of those. The one thing that was clear is you can see the quality that your squad definitely have, and to come back to get those 2 goals as well was still pretty impressive. Nonetheless. But yeah, I think what shocked you and probably shocked all of us at Home Park is how we just, delivered those goals and how the game plan just came out all together. I don't think there'll be many teams that will be pitting 5 past you boys. And I see them going on a wobble, as you sort of said earlier.
Might be a 2-game wobble. They might lose 2 on the bounce and then get back on the horse. But
yeah.
No team's going to win every game in the remainder of the season. There's 14 games left or whatever it is, right?
I think Lincoln are in that position, aren't they? At the minute, they're doing so well at the minute. They won again today.
They'll get undone by somebody, and it'll be someone down the bottom probably who won it more than they do on the day.
It'll be interesting.
Just on today, did you think that the pre-game Jana song, the buzz and everything else reminded me a lot of the Championship, right? When we were fighting for our life.
It was never a League One game today. That occasion, it felt like a Championship.
So just on that point, I like hospitality. There was 340, I think, in there today, which was like every week at the Championship. You just rammed in like sardines, and it's busy, right? Everywhere looked busy. Everywhere looked up for it. Do you think that we owe it to the club to try and replicate that for the players between every home game between now and the end of the season? Because I've just seen a tweet from some Cardiff fans saying, what was that song you played pre-game that you all sung? It was unbelievable. Obviously, come from a Welsh fan who's probably been to the rugby and all that, and all their anthems.
The Mitchell Scotland.
And it was I watched it. I was devastated. And it was today. Jana was belted out, right?
Yeah,
fact. Because it was 16-9 there or whatever it was. That surely has got the foundations of a good performance. And the mirror on it was like, come on, we can do this also. Everyone gets all up for it. He does another one of his.
It's a sign of life.
Yeah, it's a sign of life. We are here. We're alive. And everyone was like, belting it out. And the team went out and played like men possessed. Did that today. Surely we've got to be thinking about that as an atmosphere for the rest of the season, and it's on us. I know it's on them, but they're playing
make a hostile place to come to.
We've got to turn. I mean, I'm not saying that every club's going to bring 1,700 down with them, as Cardiff did today, and that helped.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, but if we got 15,500 in with their 1,000 or whatever it's going to be, we can replicate that. And I think we need to try and do as best we bloody can between now and the end of the season to do that, to give us best chance. Because, as we all know, Home Park, the fortress, if we can win these games and keep our away form, we might end up with 2.5 points a game, not 2.
Yeah, and I think, to Ball saying that Jana song gave me goosebumps. I mean, they filled out their away end. I put up a little clip on our YouTube shorts of that before kickoff. And just the music before, then the Jana song, and then the last one. I forget what the name of it.
It's short and sharp, and it gets everybody up.
And it and like I said, I sort of got up today, get into the ground, and I felt, and what really made me feel strong about today was I was just excited for Pepper and Talai up front. That's what really stood out for me today. I thought we haven't seen those two together properly for ages, and that it was just like I feel good about today. So you're right, the music, everything, the atmosphere.
It was just everyone was like, "This is Cardiff. We've got to be up for it." The players, us, the club, everyone was on it. We've got to try and replicate that as best we can, even against Doncaster and.
But it was a great game to watch, wasn't it? It was exciting. It was end to end.
It was a championship game.
No slouches either. They scored 2.
It did feel like very much like a championship game. To be fair. But I think we owe it to ourselves. We owe it to the club. We owe it to to give it a good crack, a fair old crack. Because if we do that between now and the end of the season, and we can start getting back to Shuey form home, and we've got TC form away, we're going to be pretty fucking formidable between now and the end of the season. I have to say.
Yeah, I just want to pick up on Plym 1969's comments. I think Cardiff had the best individual skillful players I've seen all season, but lacked our intensity. I can see why they are top. Yeah, exactly. I said that.
They still played, even when they were sort of way behind in the game. They still try to play football, still try to create chances. And they were great.
They've barely lost any players in the summer. They've got a championship squad.
You can see why they're up there.
Yeah, and as Nicky said, Cardiff was the only club to sell out the away end this season. I mean, yes, it's not a massive journey, but it's still a huge following for a club.
And it was 12:30, not 3 o'clock as well, which is
It's still what, 2.5? Was it 2.5 hours or something from Cardiff? It's still quite a trek, but I mean,
it's at 7 o'clock leaving at 7:30 leave.
Yeah, it's you get off that early for the earlier kickoff, but no, everything just felt different. It's we've always tend to have done well against better sides, but obviously Lincoln was that big exception the other day. But it was just great. It just felt. I mean, that's why that whole intensity of that first half, you almost had to sit down and take a breather when the whistle went, because it was just like, wow, what just happened in front of us?
It was exhausting the first half.
Yeah. Well, actually, let's just remind ourselves, and Bauble, if you are in, I'm going to play the highlights again. Sorry to make you sit through it, but before we close out, why don't we just enjoy that again?
Oh, flowing football here, and Watts, he was right in front of the goalkeeper. Well, it just came straight through to Caleb Watts. And then Watts, he was right in front of the goalkeeper and either side of him. And that's 1-0 to the home side. And from Curtis, wasn't far away. Everybody claiming it was their ball. A corner is what we've come away with. Might have been a defensive touch that did it.
Yeah, it was,
Edwards.
This ball here.
Defence to attack very quickly, and this is Talai! Lauren Talai! His first start after injury.
No release clause, remember.
And he adds another goal to his growing tally. Plymouth with a huge boost just before the half-hour mark. Can Tanner find a way through here for Cardiff? This could be an instant response. Off frame of the goal, and then a save from point-blank range. Kellyman with the strike. Tanner with the initial effort, and both inches away. And then all the way through the middle. Up towards Peppel, 2-0. Bim Peppel again.
Where the hell was Watts in that build-up? He's not even on the screen,
and what a scoreline. Here goes Tanner again. In towards Kellyman. Off 2-1.
Ross could have done better there.
And in a matter of seconds, Cardiff are back within a goal. It's a blink and you'll miss it sort of game.
But that goes to show you quality team that
have
can finish. That's the danger. Luckily, we finished.
From Harding. It's 3-1. Peppel again. A whirlwind of a game. And where will it go from
Harding
here?
with a really good assist as well. Just
This is the goal of the game for me.
Wants it back. In fact, it's Kellyman. That's the best one we've seen. A 5-goal game, split 3-2. It's in Plymouth's favour, but Cardiff have picked up the momentum again going into the break. Perrion going for goal. Oh, that was on target. Hard to find a more exciting and surprising half of football this season. Robertson! Oh! Would have been a rocket of a goal.
Could have been 5 each, really, this game.
Towards Talai, who went down. Oh, and the referee's given it.
Honestly, did think we'd get 6, which is why I stuck a timer from the
And a chance for Plymouth to stretch their lead again.
Can't remember the late one where someone tried to backheel it or something at the near post.
And emphatically so. Plymouth's number 9 doubles up. Oh, they've scored again. 5 up for Plymouth. And surely now the points are staying at home park.
I just remember Bo Sundrop when he came on the show early on in the season, telling us about Ross and telling us what a great player he was, and he's not wrong at all. So, Bo, if you're watching, thanks for that.
He has come on leaps and bounds. Before I forget, because something just triggered me to remember to say it, Tegan Finn scored 4 today in the academy game. Was it 6-2 the final score, Carl, in that one? Yeah,
I believe so, yeah.
They were 2-0 down and 1-6-2.
And I've been told that he was a different level today. So hopefully he can try and find a way back in, even on the bench at some point.
It'd be nice to see him get a spot on Tuesday night off the bench, really.
Nice. Yeah, Kawode will have to pit him 4 away.
He's a big fucking nudge, isn't he, by saying, I'll score, you put me in a team, I'll score 4. So.
Yeah. Question from Lox9. That's where I didn't get some of your comments earlier. Well, all he had to do was strike it. It wasn't difficult. I said, didn't too much, swung his foot in, it went in. I just don't get that. But anyway, Lox9 saying, how much is our strike force worth now? Who knows? But let's just say the return on investment is probably looking good. And as Carl pointed out, there is no release clause there. Debbie Firth saying, great podcast again, guys. Green Army. Yeah, as we wrap it up, because I am tired as well. Look, final thoughts then quickly. Andy, starting with you.
Great week. What a great week of football. You know, you got 3 wins in a week. You know, 9 points, 12 goals. What can you ask for? Just let's go on and get into the virtue sort of semi-finals and then move from there. Yeah, great stuff. I'm exhausted.
Carl?
Yeah, just echo what Andy said. You couldn't have asked for a better week. Great goals. Conceded 2, was it? The Argyle ladies game, our first one, which was a nice evening out.
Yeah.
And just mind-blowing performance today. Look, hopefully going into Tuesday, giving us some confidence to put in another similar type of performance, getting into the semi-finals. And also good luck to the ladies tomorrow who are away to AFC Wimbledon, I believe.
Yeah, Plough Lane,
yep. Yeah, so hopefully another 3 points for them and, edge closer to hopefully a potential promotion for them.
Yeah, no, with Bournemouth stuttering the other night. Absolutely. Gavin, from yourself?
I think echo what the boys have said. It's been 9 points out of 9 for the men. We beat the scum. For the women, to none. The club in itself seems to be on the up. Full hospitality today, full ground. Everybody seems to be buzzing. Let's keep this real momentum going. It's up to us, it's up to them, isn't it? And I think if we can push hard Tuesday night and get a result, hopefully we can be 2 or 3 up by 60 minutes, take off all our guys that need a rest and bring on the cavalry, and then go again hard next weekend, which will be another. We've got to go and get points at Rotherham now to back this up. Otherwise, these 3 out of 3 mean nothing. So what was it Miran said? We got 15 cup finals. I think we've got 15 cup finals if we include a semi-final and a final, or maybe 16. So long may it continue. And if anyone's there, I'll see them Tuesday night because I'm going to make the journey up.
Yeah. So your predictions,
well done.
Tuesday night 2-0.
Yeah, Carl.
3-1 Argyle.
Okay, Andy.
2-1 to Argyle.
Yeah, I think with the with the fans, I'm going to go. I'm going to go balls out and say 3-0. 3-0. Anyway, there we go. Let's see what happens. See if we can get another win on the road. But yes, we'll be with you then Tuesday night to do the watch along. Looking forward to that. Nice that it's a little bit earlier. 45 minutes is always helpful. It's been a great week. I've had some great time with the kids, been off at half term. The watch along on Tuesday with Carl and that result. The women's game, as Carl said. And the live show on Thursday was great as well. And the game today and tonight, you've all been brilliant joining us in with the comments. Fantastic as always. And we really do appreciate it. Remember to tell anybody who doesn't know about us at the moment to come and join us as well and see what we're about. But hopefully you enjoyed tonight's show. Certainly enjoyed today. That's for sure. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.